and we all had a common goal. Like our goal was we wanted to to make a positive impact in our community and like be leaders, just kind of natural leaders. And
Hi everyone, my name is Arman and welcome to Yes I Am Podcast Season 2. Our goal in this podcast is to relate to you and get inspired by amazing peers that we will be bringing to this conversation. Today's guest is Devan Turner. How are you doing, Devan?
Doing great. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. This is our second episode. We got very inspired by Sonia's experience last week, and I feel like we built a good momentum. And I'm pretty sure by the end of this season 2, we're gonna feel way more inspired by amazing stories that we will be hearing. Devin, the first question I always start this conversation with is very simple, but it leads us very interesting places and journeys. And I cannot wait to see what you will be telling me. And that question is, Devin Turner, what is your story?
My story. All right. You want the long one? You want the whole from the beginning, or what you want?
Up to you. I prefer, to even go like maybe a few questions, but you go in depth with the questions, so we can talk as much as you want.
Okay. So I'll just start from the beginning then. Yeah. So I am originally I was born in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. As my parents got older, they moved to California. My parents were like very religious, come from a religious family. Mm-hmm. Family owned a church. So that was like a big, you mentioned foundation. That was like a big foundation of my life, was just growing up religious, Christian. When I moved to California, I moved to a very small rural town. It's called Dixon, California, mm-hmm. right in between Sacramento and San Francisco. Got into, playing sports, which is kind of where another foundation I built, just how I found all my friends and, just kind of how I gained myself and kind of, started forming myself as a person. So I played, my first sport was basketball, and then I got into football and wrestling. And then I think my parents got divorced. So that was a tough time, just going through that. I was young though, so like I didn't really know what was going on at the time, but it was different. Dad's not at the house, but mom's moving to places, and that's when I started to get really involved with sports, because it was kind of my, my escape from home and having to see that type of stuff. So sports really picked up, really got started, hanging out more with my friends. And I was fortunate and blessed enough to find a friend group that is who I was hanging out with in elementary school. It's exactly who I hang out with now when I come back home and stuff. So like they'll come visit me in Oregon. I'll go visit them wherever they are, Fresno, Nevada, Los Angeles. And we all had a common goal. Like our goal was we wanted to make a positive impact in our community and like be leaders, just kind of natural leaders, and lead by example to our younger siblings and stuff like that. So like we all like meshed really well together, and that was a big thing for me. We were very open to trying new things. Like I said, I'm from a small rural town, and so there was nothing to do there. Dixon, California, nothing to do. We're like known for having a Mayfair and a large corn maze. It might be the largest corn maze in the country. So we would just figure out, whatever to do. And I found that really like unique about our group. No matter where you put us, we would, make the best of every situation and just have fun. So I stuck with them. And then I seen like my parents. I think I noticed my parents struggling when I was like in 7th grade. I noticed them like, financially struggling. So I decided to start my own little company or figure out a way to make my own money. So the first thing I did was, the simple thing, just started like going door to door, mowing lawn, just trying to get like money in my pocket, do something so I could stop asking my parents for money. Then I had a conversation with my dad, and he was just like, what is type of like what stuff do you like to do? Um, and I found out I was really like into fashion. So I was thinking, like if I could make my own type of clothes, my own clothes, I would save money for myself. I could help my friends. I can give them clothes, and then I could make money off of, doing stuff that I like. I want to design clothes already anyway. So started a little, clothing brand. Didn't take it really serious. Was just making stuff for myself, maybe selling stuff here and there, but just to get a little money in my pocket. And then I found my one of my best friends. His name is I call him Pepe. His name is Jose Mendoza. He actually wants to pursue acting, so he lives in LA. So give him a follow on Instagram. His name's Joe Doza. But we got together. He likes fashion a lot too, so we started this brand called Wet West, and so we've been doing stuff like that since 2000. Like that was our sophomore year of high school, 2014. Just doing stuff here and there. But when I got to Oregon State, you can't really, as an athlete, you can't, advertise anything or you can't promote anything. So it's kind of just been stagnant, just kind of sitting there. And he's pursuing acting, so he has a lot of time. He's pretty busy. So it's just been kind of stagnant, and I just kind of make stuff for myself. But looking to, one of my aspirations in life is to have our own clothing brand. So looking forward to, after wrestling's all done, or not even after wrestling's all done, but after I'm done with college and I can promote and advertise, I'm looking to, build my brand like a lot and go, full force with it. But yeah, after we started Wet West is when I got like, I was playing football and I was actually very good at football, but I realized like I wanted to go to college and I didn't want to pay for college. And I thought I was too small to play football at the D1 level, which, I believe, this podcast is called Yes I Am. So you can do anything you say your mind to, but I just put it in my head, I'm 5'6", 140 pounds. And if somebody is, 6'4", almost 300 pounds, and we run the same speed at each other, I'm not winning that battle. So I decided, let me just stick with wrestling. It's a sport where, weight, like size doesn't matter because there's individual weight classes and stuff. Everybody wrestles going to be the same size. So decided to stick to wrestling, went strictly full force into it. Found there was a man who owned a gym in my town, and he was really good at just producing athletes. So my dad convinced him to start training me, and he, me and him we did everything together. We built a super strong relationship, and now I figure he's like a father figure to me as well. And his name is Chris McCoy. We started working out a lot, doing, traveling the country, going to tournaments here and there. And I just seen myself just making jumps in wrestling, jumping. I would get here, boom, jump. Get here, boom, next level, and just keep growing. And when I started seeing myself improving, that's when I just like vowed, like, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get a scholarship to college, and I don't want my parents to pay for anything. So I just kept going. Sophomore year of high school, I don't even think the only person I hung out with was Pepe. Like it was just wrestle, maybe hang out here, but I don't really remember even having a social life. Just went full force into it. And I know that was actually pretty tough because I know freshman year of high school, I didn't make it to state. So that's why I vowed to go to college and vow to train and just train as hard as I could. And then, sorry. And then sophomore year, I made it to state, and I went from not going to state to being ranked like top 3 in the state all in like a year.
Wow.
And every year after that, going into state, I was the number 1 ranked person. So like I went from not making it to state my freshman year to being top 3 and then number 1 and number 1. So in California, it's a very hard state tournament, or just a very hard state for athletics in general. So I thought that was like super cool. Just how like I'm a big believer in that. Like once you have a strong relationship with your coach and you want to win for your coach, great things can happen if you trust in the system and stuff like that. And there's a story I always tell, like just like it was tough that like so my sophomore year I was number 3 in the state of California for wrestling, and went to state, didn't even place. Junior year, number 1 going into state, went to state, didn't place. Senior year, I was number 1 going into state again, and I ended up taking 5th. So I just kind of never met like what I wanted to do and never like achieved my goal of being able to stay a state champion. But just seeing how like when I went all in, how I was capable of just even putting myself in the conversation of being one of the top in the state was crazy to me. And I just I'm thankful for that experience. It was tough at the time, but like I take a lot of pride in that story. And just just seeing the improvements and leaps I've made when I try to achieve a goal, when I set my mind to it. And moving on, doing well in wrestling is what got me to Oregon State, so I'm forever grateful for that. Oregon State is like I love the place. Like I said again, I'm gonna go back to I'm from a small rural like town, which is like it's a white town, predominantly white. So like growing up, I had a pretty diverse friend group, but I would say like I didn't really notice like that the lack of like how cultured I kind of was, I guess you can say. Right. So when I got to Oregon State, I actually started seeing, because it's very very like predominantly white in Oregon and stuff like that. Yeah, so it was different. It was like a culture shock. Like I was like, wow, like there's not many of any other race here besides white. So started working at the Black Cultural Center, and just getting more involved with the Black community at Oregon State, and that opened up a whole bunch of doors for me. I got the job, so I was able to start making a little bit extra money, help me pay for stuff. Helped me, build the brand a little bit more. Started being able to design stuff here and there more. Finding new people, just broadening my like network. Even like opportunities like I brought back. There's like the Divine Nine, which is like the National Panhellenic Council. So it's like the historically Black fraternities and sororities. I was fortunate enough to bring back one of the organizations, which is Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I brought one of them back, that organization, to Oregon State, and like it's growing. And now I'm the president of National Panhellenic Council, and I'm also the president of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated as well. So it's just cool to just see Oregon becoming, or just bringing out more of the diversity in Oregon. Black Cultural Center is also growing, starting to get some boom into it. People are, hearing about it more. Black History Month just passed. We put on a lot of events and stuff, and a lot of people liked it. So it was really cool. And like my dream in life was always to my number one goal is to always wherever I go, just make an impact on the community in a positive way. So here I am now, I'm just chasing the dream and just trying to make an impact on the community.
Wow. What a powerful story. What a powerful story. I'm gonna get back to like the beginning of this story that you start saying, and I wanna ask you about the impact of your family. Because you said that when your parents divorced, that was the time that you kind of like start getting more serious in sports, and kind of was kind of an escape way for you. I want to know, what did you learn from that? What did you learn from that your parents getting divorced?
So there could be a lot. There's a lot. I mean, I guess I learned a lot.
Yeah.
All this stuff was probably about myself. Just I was still young at the time, but I was more independent and just kind of learning about myself, and
Hmm.
I do believe like you surround yourself with people who are like you.
Yeah.
So you know there's old saying, I forgot the saying, but like the people you hang out with are probably like what you are like.
Yeah.
So the people that I hung out with, I thought they were great people, and they are great people.
Yeah.
So just by your friends, you can kind of tell like how you move, how you act, how you speak, how you carry
Hmm.
yourself. And the individuals I surrounded myself with were very
Hmm.
like positive, goal driven. They had a
Hmm.
lot of aspirations, ambition, smart, like striving for things to get out of the town, like you just wanted like bigger things in life. And so going through that, I figured out that was like me. Like I was goal driven, smart. I wanted to do bigger things in life. I wanted to put on for the community, like stuff like that.
So it was
And
like you got to know yourself more, you know.
yeah,
And how old are you then?
right now or back then when they
Back
got
then.
divorced? When they got divorced, I was probably um maybe 13, 12.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So you kind of, I feel like you're one of those people that were like pushed to be adults very soon,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, you could say that. Now, I was fortunate enough, like my parents, they were still very involved in my life.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still had like I was still a kid,
Yeah.
enjoying myself.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was tough seeing like most of my friends, all their parents were together and like having fun,
Hmm.
doing family events and stuff like that. And my family was split, so I'd have to have different Christmases,
Hmm.
different birthdays, and stuff like that. But my I still received a bunch of love.
Hmm.
So I mean, it wasn't like an awful experience, but it was it was difficult as a kid.
Hmm. You know, all of this happening to you, and even growing up your whole journey, what was the impact of having faith in God help you, you know, to kind of get through all of this?
So that right there is probably the most important thing to me because it was like basically just going to church and like kind of just like being in that setting all the time.
Hmm.
As a kid,
Yeah.
I found church and just like it just kind of teaches you like wrong from right.
Yeah.
So I mean, um, I would say like, I was a good kid. Like I
Hmm.
didn't like temptations and stuff like that as I got
Yeah.
older. Once I got into high school,
Yeah.
because I was just kind of raised like that,
Hmm.
like smoking, drinking,
Hmm.
partying. That wasn't me. Like
Hmm.
I just wasn't that type of kid.
Yeah.
And as I started getting better at like athletics and my
Hmm.
popularity kind of like went up and people knew who I was and
Yeah.
around the city and um, it didn't like I was who I was. I wasn't gonna be the one that was gonna be peer pressured into drinking or smoking or
Yeah.
having or doing stuff like that.
Hmm.
I was strictly focused on the goal at hand and
Hmm.
moving forward in life. And I can say that is really from just having that religious background. I
Yeah.
didn't swear, didn't cuss or anything like that.
Yeah.
Was really like wanted to be like a positive influence in
Wow.
this, and I can base that solely off of just like because I had that faith background,
Hmm.
and yeah, it also gave me a like a confidence, just like
I bet. Yeah.
yeah, it gives you confidence. Like I'm living for more than myself. I'm living for God. Like I want to be a beacon of light, and
Of course.
uh, yeah, it was cool. And it was also confidence just from being able to tell people like, nah, like I'm cool. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to drink. I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. Like y'all could do that, but I don't want to do that. And being that type of
Hmm.
person, it
Hmm.
gives you confidence because it just shows you that like like I don't have to be like the other people. I can
Hmm.
do my own stuff, my own thing, and people were attracted to that. Like
Hmm.
a lot of people like admired me for that growing up, and I thought that was really really like cool. So
Hmm.
like people who to this, especially in college, when I hear people who
Hmm.
are like, "No, I've never smoked, I've never drank,"
Hmm.
or they're virgins and stuff like that, I'm like, like I admit you on that. That is like that is awesome. So
Hmm.
I think that's really powerful. That all
Wow.
came from just having a faith background, in my belief.
Wow. And also, I mean, at the same time, as you said, you were surrounded by high quality people.
Yeah.
So you kind of built great relationships too.
Yeah.
And because what you said is very correct, and that was something my parents told me as well too when I was a kid, and they were like, always choose your friends wisely
Hmm.
because they have a big impact on you.
Yeah.
Uh, what did you what would you say about like kind of building relationships with people?
Hmm.
How is that important, and how is it important? How was it impactful for you?
So just like me and the rest of my friend group,
Hmm.
we were wanting to be friends with everybody.
Yeah,
Didn't matter. There's people like first off, who are we? Like, who am I to judge somebody if they're a good person or a bad person?
yeah,
But so we were, friends with everybody. Just
hmm,
like whatever friend group, like
yeah,
whatever type of person you are, we were okay. We would be your friend.
hmm,
We were still gonna do our thing,
yeah,
and uh, I believe friendships kind of happen naturally.
hmm,
You're gonna surround yourself with people who are like you already. Like it's just a normal thing.
yeah,
Uh, so it'll kind of happen naturally.
hmm,
But yeah, I believe in just you know making as many friends as you can. Like, and it'll only benefit you, really, if you think about it. Like, it could be stressful if you think about it in like a negative way. Like,
hmm,
uh, if that person's going through a hard time, you want to be there for them, and it could like emotionally drain you, I guess, or something like that.
hmm,
But for the most part, it's cool to just have as many friends as possible. You
yeah,
have you have lifelong connections to network. If you're going through a hard time, maybe this person has been through that, and you can go to them for that. If another person is having a hard time, you could be there for them,
hmm,
and give them like the experience that you had.
hmm,
Uh, or in the long run, somebody someday could just say like, hey, like you've always been a great friend. I'm gonna do this for you. Like you've always been there for me, and like you could just like friendships are endless and like opened so many doors. There was things that like
for sure.
I met a friend and he opened me up to way more than I ever that's
Wow.
like he opened me up to like quads, dirt biking, snowboarding.
Hmm,
If I would have never met him, I would have never seen that
hmm,
side of life and how fun it was and stuff
yeah,
like that. Then I had friends who like I was already a religious person and I opened them up to like a faith.
hmm,
And they went to church with me and they seen that and they would have never been, they were
yeah,
really into that street life and they would have never seen that side of
yeah,
life maybe if it wasn't for me. Um, and just stuff like that. And so
hmm,
I just been like, trying new things really will help you when you have a lot of friends. Like you can do it more when you have a lot of people that you can go to.
yeah. I always tell people that I meet, I tell them, hey, the first time I meet you, the second time you're my friend.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and that what you said about like you don't know how they're gonna change your life.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. I'm,
you just gotta have that faith. Like because that faith that like okay, I'm going to this friendship, I'm
yeah,
calling this person friend because my intention is good. Because it's all about you.
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty big with like, and my family is the same way.
Hmm.
Where as soon as I meet you, it's open arms, like all
Yeah,
love. We love you as soon until you give us a reason to not.
exactly.
So that's like a huge thing for me. Like
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna love you regardless unless you did something so wrong that I was like, why would you even like? What are you doing? What are you thinking?
yeah.
I'm gonna love you. Like you're my friend right from the jump. Like
That's amazing.
that's my dog from the jump. So
That's
yeah.
amazing. Um, Devin, let's do a quick imagination together. Let's imagine this one day. So let's imagine you are this one day that you're turning 80 years old.
Hmm.
You're turning 80 years old, and you coming home, and your family, your loved ones, your kids, your parents, everyone is there. Whoever that loves you are there. And then you're receiving a letter from all these people. They all wrote this letter. that they're
Hmm.
telling you what impact have you left in their lives, what do you mean to them, and how powerful your story has been for them. Devin, what do you want this letter to say?
Ooh, that's tough. So what do I want this letter to say? Well, my goal would already be achieved if they're all already giving me a letter telling me how I impacted their life, because
Wow.
that is my number one goal. I just want to have a positive impact on their life.
Yeah.
So that right there would already have me like set probably in
Mhm.
tears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm really into. I would like the letters to probably say that like I helped them or inspired
Mhm.
them to strive to achieve their goal
Mhm.
and their goals in life.
Mhm.
Um, that is like a huge thing for me.
Mhm.
You could pretty much ask most people I talk to. I want to know like what they want to do in life. Maybe I can help them. Like what are your aspirations? What are you ambitious about? Like what are you striving for?
Mhm.
Like I don't like when people are just content and stagnant just in
Mhm.
life, just kind of sitting there, like, just going with the flow.
Yeah.
Uh, which is like me at sometimes. I like to just go with the flow. I
Yeah.
don't really plan things. I'm so down with just, waking up in the morning, checking my phone and seeing what people want to do. Like, what's up? Let's
Yeah.
get in. But I'm also very like goal driven. I have goals and people know those goals. Um, so I really would like those letters just to say like how I inspire people to strive to achieve their goals and just chase their dreams.
Mhm.
And I would love to hear the stories of like, maybe some people just kind of dropped everything. They were,
Mhm.
doing this and then just dropped everything and just chased their goals.
Yeah.
Those stories are great. They don't always pan out,
Mhm.
but it's just awesome just hear
Mhm.
somebody gain that much confidence to drop everything and just go all in. So that is probably what I would want to hear.
Wow. You looked at it in a very unique perspective because I ask this question almost every time we come to the podcast, do a podcast. And the way that you said, if I even received that letter, my goals accomplished, that was amazing. That was my first time hearing someone saying that. Um, I'm pretty sure. I mean, doing being an athlete, doing all the great stuff that you're doing. Even I even want to call you an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, um, I'm pretty sure you face a lot of failures too.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
Up to you. Either tell us like in the time that you like one of the challenging moments in your life that you failed,
Mhm.
and tell us how did you get up from that moment.
So the one I always go back to is the story I told about the state championship tournament, just growing up wrestling.
Yeah.
It holds like so much weight in my life because like to this day it still is like wow, like I kind of like I should have been there. I should have been number one.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been state champion multiple times.
Yeah.
Um, even this year, I failed myself. I failed myself in wrestling. In terms of wrestling, I failed myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just I was at the top. I had a rough start, but it's been a rough year this year. Um, national tournament was just last weekend, and I should have been All American. I should have been top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and things just didn't go how like they didn't go my way. Could be many reasons, but I always just you feel like you could do better. So how you get up from it is me personally, I have a strong faith.
Mm-hmm.
So everything can go back to that. After wrestling's all said and done, you wake up another day.
Mm-hmm.
It's another day. Um, wrestling is a big part of my life. It's opened up so many doors for me,
Mm-hmm.
but um, it's not who I am. I am
Mm-hmm.
a wrestler, but it's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only who I am. I could say it's a huge part of my life, but it's not only who I am. There's
Yeah.
more stuff to me than just wrestling. But yeah, there's failures with just like by now with my brand, I could have Ben launched that thing off and started, really diving into it. Who knows? Like with entrepreneurship, it's endless.
Oh yeah.
You never know what could happen with a brand. So, there's like a lot of failures. I think people take little L's every day. Every day there's like a little L.
Exactly.
So just keep pushing through. I mean,
yeah.
Wake up, the sun will rise.
Mm-hmm.
If you wake up in the morning, that's a W in my like. You wake up, that's a W. You're winning already.
Yeah, you're grateful for that. It's a gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're pretty tough, and I know it because Andres, who covers sports for Orange Media Network, I was talking to him, and he told me you went to the games quarantining for a long time, and you had a tough time in practicing, but you still won the championship.
Yeah.
How where do you get that inspiration that although like odds are against you, things are not going the way you want, but how do you still get up? How do you still get up and like just go and win the championship?
So in that situation, that was like so it was like right before the Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah.
Like some of my teammates, we got contact traced, so we had a quarantine for 14 days. And then a couple more cases on our team broke out. So we had to restart the quarantine. So we ended up having to do like 16 days.
Wow.
So we got out of quarantine like 3 days before the Pac-12 championships. And like, during the quarantine, we were working out hard. And that was, I would say in that situation, the reason I was able to kind of rise to the occasion was because when the odds are against you, for me at least, it takes the pressure off. It's like, hey, like, everybody is, like, no, but everybody's counting me out already.
Yeah.
So pressure's off. Just go out there, let it fly, and what happens happens.
Yeah.
Just leave cards on the table. At the end of the day, if you put all you could into it, it won't haunt you. So in that situation, it was just kind of like pressure's off. Just go out there, have fun, and see. Let's just see what happens. But always as a competitor, especially in the sport of wrestling, which is a tough, gritty individual sport. Even like wrestling's a sport where you can do everything right. Everything. Work as hard as you can. Strictly focus on wrestling, and you still may not be the best. Like you won't be. You may not even be good. You can put everything into wrestling, and you might just be an average wrestler. So, it's just when I was on like everything to me is like confidence based.
Yeah.
Just believe. So overcoming anything, you gotta believe.
I think. Sorry, I think that's actually what happened with our basketball team too. Nobody believed they can come this far. But they just believed in themselves.
Yeah.
And they had that confidence, and yeah, like all the pre-games, they were like, "Oh, OSU gonna lose this game." They go, they perform, they get it done. It's the same thing. It's all get back to that confidence and just you believe in yourself no matter what other people believe in you.
Yeah, and like I've been at the top before, and I've also been the underdog.
Yeah,
the underdog is a lot more free, and you have a lot more people rooting for you.
Yeah.
While when you're at the top, it's hard, and it's hard to stay at the top. But when you're at the top or something like that, you're always thinking, especially when it comes to sports, a lot about like if this happens, if I lose, if what if it's a close game? I don't want to get tired out there.
Yeah.
Just stuff like you think about a lot of that type of stuff, which is why you see a lot of people at the top either fall off or things are starting to get close, or even people that like the underdog has a close, like let's just say when it comes to fighting, the underdog may have a close fight with the person that's at top because the person at top is thinking about like not losing.
Yeah.
The underdog is thinking, let's just go. I want to win. So you
Yeah.
can see confidence plays, especially in a combat sport,
Hmm.
is when it shows a lot. But yeah, confidence goes
Hmm.
a long way, man.
Hmm.
Long way.
Uh, One of the things I'm very interested to know because I see all the skills an entrepreneur that should have in you. The toughness, the drive, and leadership, and all. I think like those are the three main ones, and there's so many others that you have as well too. Uh, what I'm very interested to know is how does Devin make decisions?
Hmm.
How do you make decisions?
Honestly, um, I just gotta go with the what I feel at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like food and like stuff like that, if I'm with somebody else, I'm not making the decision. That's like that's not me. I like to just be like, you choose. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
And that that actually gets on a lot of people's nerves. Like
Yeah.
I'm very indecisive with that type of stuff.
Me too. I feel you, man.
But, like, but when it comes to like a business decision,
Yeah.
yeah, I just go with what I like. Um, or I'll consult with like friends,
Mm-hmm.
family, and see like what they think about the situation. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, I haven't really had to make like really any like hard decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But they're mostly driven by will this help me in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what will I get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Um, or how big is the impact like right now? If I do this right now,
Mm-hmm.
will it be a life changing event? Like what is it? So like I think about it, but I also can make a decision quick. I'll just
Yeah.
go and whatever happens happens. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Hey, you'll get through it. You learn from it.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. I felt like you may make tough decisions, but they also at the same time simple for you because you at the end you're like, I may fail, but I'm gonna take something from it. You
Yeah,
know.
and I'm as I'm growing, I'm learning. I'm not afraid. So one of my biggest fears in life
Yeah.
is failing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things that like I don't really care about right now
Mm-hmm.
is failing. It like balances out, but it's like yeah, like you can't be afraid to fail. Hey, just go for it. As long as you go all in for it, chances are you probably won't fail. But
Mm-hmm.
as long as you go all in for it, you know, you'll see some W's along the way. You'll
Mm-hmm.
see some along the way. So
That I think that's what makes you an extraordinary individual, Devin, because I feel like people are ordinary. They have a tough time making decisions because they're afraid of the failure.
mhm.
And one of the things I've been focusing a lot in this season is overthinking.
Mhm.
Which I think it's a has a huge impact in the decisions that we make.
Mhm.
And if you can overcome overthinking, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna make so many good decisions, and so many good stuff gonna come towards you. So are you an overthinker?
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, that's what I found.
I think overthinking can, for some people, can destroy you.
Oh
It
yeah.
can destroy you. Like, and that's in anything. That's in when you're trying to achieve your goals. That's in relationships.
Yeah.
Overthink. People overthink things all the time.
I
Like,
know.
and it's tough. Um, yeah, like overthinking can really hurt you. I think it just it'll hold you back.
Yeah.
It can hold you back, and it doesn't let you
Mm-hmm.
just ex- experience it
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy the moment. You have to overthink everything. It really takes away from having a good time. So um, definitely, like, even like going to sleep at night, really just trying to shut the brain off and not think. Just,
Mm-hmm.
just dream. Just
Yeah.
let yourself dream. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't even like
Mm-hmm.
think too much. I think it'll definitely like it'll harm you more than it'll benefit you.
Yeah, and overthinking is all negative. You all start with positive, and then you say, "Oh, what if?" And then
Yeah,
that what if has another what if inside of it, and you
yeah,
just keep going deep in there, and then you see, oh, 15 minutes, 30 minutes gone,
Yeah.
and I'm surrounded by all these negative energies around me, negative thoughts.
And it's like, I'm not saying that I don't do it
Mm-hmm.
because I do. I think everybody does. But especially in like the competition world,
Mm-hmm.
especially wrestling, people who don't overthink, they're dangerous. They're really good.
Because they're more quick. They're more quick.
Yeah, you react. It's a
Yeah.
sport of acting and reacting.
Yeah.
Acting and reacting. Boom, 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 boom. And
Yeah.
who's just not stop. And
Mm-hmm.
your body, we've already put all the work in.
Mm-hmm.
We made it to like the Division One level.
Mm-hmm.
You're there. You're like all the difference in skill is like it's. I mean, some people are just that good,
Yeah.
but for the most part, when you're free, bro, you're there. You're in pretty much every battle.
Yeah.
And if you let the body go and
Mm-hmm.
just trust in what you've done and believe and have confidence and just don't overthink things, everything in life is basically can be simplified.
Mm-hmm.
So just make everything as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be the key to success. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that could be the key to success. Is just simplifying everything.
For the those out there that who overthink, I want to put this out there. Just try it. It's something that I was a huge overthinker, and I do not overthink anymore. Um, and it sounds simple, but it takes practice. Whenever you start overthinking, just take a step back and observe your thoughts, because that's the key, to observe your thoughts. Because the moment that you start observing, you realize that you are not your thoughts and you're not involved in them, and when you know that you're not your thoughts and you're not involved in them, you won't go deep in them, because for example, in this movie, if you have not watched it, you can watch it to understand. I feel like how you overthink the movie Inception. In this movie, they just keep going deep into the time because they want to change something. They want to do something. If they just observe, it will end. You know, and it's all about that. You got to start observing your thoughts instead of you being involved in them. It's a similar thing within meditation. When you meditate, you're not necessarily just focusing on your breathing and you're like, oh, I'm gonna stop every single thought. No, meditation is about letting your thoughts to flow, and you just won't be involved in them. You'll be present at the moment. So yeah, I just want you all to try it. If you just take one step back and observe them, it will stop. Um, Devin, I wanna. We're getting close to the end of this conversation, which is kind of sad because it's been one of the most exciting conversations I've ever had in a long time, and just talking to you for now 40 minutes. Uh, I know for sure that you're going to go far in life. You're going to go very far. You're going to achieve a lot of good stuff because of your mentality, your work ethic, your faith. These are all the things I feel like if someone that wants to go far and be successful have, and you're already successful. Um, Devin, are you relatable?
Relatable. Yeah, definitely. I take pride in being a relatable person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm any better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a lot like other people. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I I have emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I bleed. I'm a human.
Yeah.
My feelings. From small town, probably just like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Had my own struggles, just like other people.
Mm-hmm.
Had my own success stories, just like
Yeah.
other people. Everybody has a success story. Everybody has a failure story.
Yeah.
Everybody has a dream. Whether or not you want to chase it is that's for you to decide.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their own story,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, they're all pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
You all come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You all have mom and dad. You all, you bleed. You have feelings. You have emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm human.
No, you nailed it. Yeah, you are definitely relatable, and I feel like people that are watching this can definitely relate to you. Um, because one of the things that I feel like this conversation will bring is, because a lot of people maybe look at Devin Turner on social media, or like, this guy is winning championships. People don't necessarily see the other side of Devin Turner.
Yeah.
what is really within Devin? What did he go through? How did he get where he is? And I think this conversation will bring that out, to kind of let people know that, okay, yeah, Devin Turner is a very successful person right now. He wins championships, he does all this kind of stuff, but
Hmm.
it all did not come easy. He worked for them, he failed for them, and he learned from them.
Yeah.
Devin, what's the biggest lesson you ever learned in your life?
The biggest lesson I ever learned in my life. There's just so many lessons. I'm learning stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but just recently, I'm just gonna say recently,
Mm-hmm.
the main one is just confidence is key. Just like confidence is like the root of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If I was, I've always been a confident individual, but if I was just had confidence, people could look at me and see like, okay, he's confident, like he's confident
Yeah.
himself. Just because I take pride in the way I look,
Mm-hmm.
the way I carry myself.
Yeah.
You can like see that I'm a confident person,
Mm-hmm.
but still, behind closed doors, like confidence is like something that I've lacked. Like I would be a lot further in life if I was, like had more self confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident in myself as a person, but I lack self confidence, which is like, it's held me back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I see myself. Sometimes I'll have it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll be fully just
Mm-hmm.
full on confident in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the potential that
Yeah.
wow, I'm a dangerous person when I am a believer in myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get in a rut, I don't believe in myself, and I can see like how it holds me back, and I can see the difference easily. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm able to identify it.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm able to identify it, and I'm able to like right away flip a switch and say, hey, you gotta have self beliefs, like just go.
Yeah.
And so that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned is just being able to flip a switch and
Yeah.
know when to be humble and
Mm-hmm.
know when to really, really, really have that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a type of person I would love to learn how to just be confident in everything all the
Mm-hmm.
time and not have to even worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the lesson I've learned, and it's a lesson I'm still learning and still trying to achieve. But confidence is key.
Confidence is key, and I'm telling this because I come from a place of not being confident at all,
Yeah.
being hard for me to even talk to a person like that bad, like a zero confidence. But for me, the whole journey started. I mean, this is a very long story. Um, that we need another conversation for it. But like, it all started for me building my confidence from ground zero in my end of my freshman year, going to downtown Portland and walking around downtown Portland. And my first shot of confidence was smiling at people and getting the smile back.
Oh yeah.
That was my
I,
first boost of confidence. And and that's just one step made me to go to be the person who I am right now.
yeah.
So I feel like uh it I again, this is a very like big conversation, but like confidence exists within you, the belief that you have with yourself, and with the energy that you put out there.
Yeah.
With the energy that you put out there. I want to ask you. I'm gonna tell you a couple of words, and I want to tell you how you feel. Tell me how you feel about them. In one word.
Okay.
Family,
Is everything.
God,
Is more than everything.
sports,
Opens doors.
OSU, Beavers,
Untapped potential.
uh, high quality relationships.
Hmm. Life changing.
Um, Devan Turner.
Untapped potential.
This conversation.
Will hopefully lead to the next one.
Fantastic. Yeah, Devin, it was amazing talking to you. And Devin, we call ourselves Yes I Am because we believe you can put whatever word you want in front of it and be that person. I'm wondering, what does Devin Turner puts in front of Yes I Am? What Yes I Am what?
Yes, I am confident. I should say that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I love
So
that. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes to Yes I Am podcast. And thank you everyone for watching this podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, we have so many more of them with so many amazing people that they're all inspiring. I always start this conversation with, I come into this conversation, this podcast with open mind, and whenever I finish these conversations, I get fully inspired. I get so inspired, and this conversation has been amazing. It's been amazing, and thank you so much, Devin, for sharing your story today. Um, if you would like to watch more of these episodes, you can always go to our Instagram at YA_YesIam. You can watch them in our IGTV. And yeah. I'm just feeling so good after this conversation. So I hope all of you that are watching this, all also do. And as always, yes I am.
yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me.